What is going on YouTube, and welcome back to another StarCoding Golang website tutorial, website development tutorial. I believe this is now part 3. I know y'all have missed it. We have made so much progress so far. So let me just stop talking and let's review what we've been up to. Alright, so let's look and review kind of what we did in the last couple videos. In the first video, I think y'all can all remember, if you're just tuning in, that's okay. We kind of made a main function that handled some of the server, responses, making it to where when you actually go to the server, it goes to the right page, getting all those routers configured, and just kind of like learning the basics of Go was kind of that first video. Not much happened. Second video, however, we made this parse blog function, which I'll just demonstrate real quick. In the terminal, we come down here, we run our Go file, and boom, it makes a GET request to a web page, and displays all of our relevant blog data that we want to use. And as you can guess, we have this blog data in the terminal right now, but what we want to do now is display this on our web app. And let me just display what our web app is looking like right now. Let me comment this guy out and come down here. And let's run this guy. One thing that is good to note, I installed this plugin called Air, and I will show that here in a second. Run main.go. Look at that, it's all beautiful. It's so cute. We love it. So if I come over here and let's go to, let me pull up the web browser. Yeah. Are we working? Hello? Oh no, we got errors. What is going on, folks? Good. Yeah. No red squiggles anymore. I think we're okay. Oh no, that was a little a little shock in there. All right, so we have our beautiful website. It looks way better than what I did in episode 2. So let me just briefly go over what we kind of did. We have a home page, an about page. That's scary. We're gonna fix that in a sec. I don't think we're gonna come back to this page, but we're getting the website together. I just made some of this stuff in here because, it's HTML. This is a Go series. We're not going to talk about HTML too much, but if you're interested, leave a comment and we can go over some of that. What we're going to be working on in this video is this hello blog page. We're going to get that information that we got from the request, and we're going to hopefully be able to display it in here. Now, how are we actually going to go about doing that? Well, it's kind of already simulated in this landing page and in this about page. We kind of talked about handlers, or not handlers. Yeah, well, this is a handler. We're talking about structs here. I guess in Go, when you want to execute a template, you can, pass the template to a IO stream, a response writer, which is going to be the I think that's an IO stream if I had to guess. And we can pass it data. This data has to be in the form of a struct. It can't just be, a list of data. So you just make one data object, a struct that holds everything. And for our example in this, we have a base template, which is kind of simple. I'll open it up. We have a base template here that has, our metadata, our important CSS, our JSON, or not JSON, our JavaScript down here. Cool stuff. And in this body, you'll notice that there's a .nav and a .template. What is this? This is, I guess, I call it template inheritance. I don't know if it's actually called that. Essentially what it means is that if I pass, let's go back to our Go file. When I execute this base template, I'm going to write this data object to it. It has a page title, a nav, and a template. And the way that this data is accessed in the template is by using this dot, which I believe is called a pipeline. Correct me if I'm wrong. But we use the dot and then whatever the variable name is. So nav, template, page title. You can see that corresponds to right here. There are also a bunch of functions we can use. I think I can just go pipeline commands. I'm using a node. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get all the commands. Is this what I want? Is this what I want? No, this is, I'm just gonna type in go HTML range. I think is what I want. Text template, this is the, aha, here we go. Nice. So as you can see in these base templates, we can use commands. So if you want an if statement, you can do some stuff. There's a range statement, which is what I kind of care about. So we can iterate over the blog, I want to say. So there's like this big blog object we're going to have that holds a bunch of blogs. And we can do a range and iterate over that each time and display something different. We're golden. That is what we hopefully are going to seek out to do in this video. One last thing before we start, I was talking about this thing called air. Air is the package that I'm using to dynamically, I guess, live reload. Live reload, I think is what they call it at the top of this README. Here we go. Live reload for Go apps. So that way, every time I make an edit to the Go file, or I think the base HTML, any HTML file, it'll automatically reload. So that way I don't have to, okay, I made an edit. Now I'm like Control C and retype in the Go, you know, Go run main. Don't have to do that anymore. We just run it once with air go, air run main, and everything works. It's super nice and it's colorful, so it's fun to look at as well. That was a big introduction. I'm sorry. I will definitely segment this off so people can skip into the future. But now let's jump into it and start coding this file. All right, so I think when I was leaving off, I was like, let's jump into the code. Well, I stopped recording and I completely forgot to click the record button again. So all the live coding footage is now gone. I'm new to this YouTube thing, so apologies for not going to be coding it live, but let's act like I'm coding it live. Let's jump into it again, yet again. So we had this parse blog function that did, it just did stuff and it didn't return anything. So I was like, oh, we need to return a blog, an array of, or a list of blogs, because that's what we have in our page data struct. I think I added that as well here, if I'm not mistaken. So we had a response that we get from the server, which is our array of blogs. And I was like, okay, well, when I make this new page, let's pass blogs to our page. It's not the most efficient, but this is a personal project, and I think it's going to work for our use case. For example, so when we go into our main, we can delete this line of code because it doesn't matter anymore. When we go to this line of code, we have our templates, our blog template, which we'll jump into when we occur into that problem. Our function handlers now have a blogs object added since we are using this page data. So, the title, the nav, the template, and this blogs. This is going to be empty. It just has to get passed because it's, a struct. It needs something there. So this is going to be empty for our landing page, and for our about page, it's going to be empty. However, when we get to our blog page, this is where the interesting stuff happens. You just call this function parse blogs, make it equal to a blogs object. I'm typing it in live, guys. Whoa, huge. And so now we have this blogs data that's getting passed into, well, we have a blogs, it's getting added to our page data called data, and then that is being executed in the blog template. So let's talk briefly about why we have a blog template here instead of a base template. There was a problem when I was live coding this, and I was like, oh man, it was a fun problem to have, and I was struggling, but here we can just hear an intellectual talk about it now, since we've been through it. So let's open up our base.html. So this is what the base looks like. It's super simple. We talked about it earlier. Got a navbar and a template. Nice. For the blog page, there was a slight problem because I wanted to, have our template load here, and this template needs dynamic data. for our blog. It needs dynamic data for our blog. So what do I mean by that? I mean, like, when I open this blog, yes, there is HTML code. It's beautiful, but the way that we actually, wow, this is the secret recipe for this kind of whole video, okay? This whole video basically came down to one line. um, so, so yeah, we needed a range to call this blogs. Call this blogs here. And when I used the base template, I couldn't get this blogs object to fire. The way I'm doing it in this guy right here in the base HTML, this is a string when it gets passed to it. So if we go back to our main.go, you'll notice this is a string. So it literally reads the file, which is, it would read the blog. It would read this blog here, convert this whole file into a string and pass it. So it wouldn't use the cool Golang functionality involved. So therefore, we just made a blog template without inheritance. Cool. And then if we go to our blog guy, we'll see all we do for our for our blogs is kind of a for each loop, with this being the iterable object and the element being the individual element in that object. So, you know, for the thumbnail picture, we just do element dot thumbnail. Make sure to include those curly braces for the title, for the link, and for the publication date. And when it's all said and done, all right, here we go. Let's get the big reveal. So it looks like this. It does work. And when you click on the full post, it takes you to the Medium page of each individual one. So very cool. We now have this all displayed on the website and looking good-ish. Some HTML edits need to get made. I think this is a little off center. Like, what's going on there, boys? This looks good, but this doesn't look good. Some HTML things to get made. I might just reformat this, because if I were to look at this on a phone, that would be cancerous, to say the least. It would just not be good. So we don't want to do that. Do I make a video of me making these HTML edits? Maybe I'll do a summary of some of the challenges that came with it, but for the most part, it should be tit for tat, just progressive stuff. There's also a contact page that hasn't been added yet, and I might link an email here, so that way I can receive emails in the future for anyone that wants to send me an email with possible questions for freelance work. Wouldn't that be cool, guys? Make some coin on the side? Yes. While making a YouTube video? Yes. Oh my god, it's still so scary. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Till next time, we'll see what the next video is all about. Peace.